My name's David Moreton. This garden's Chevin Brae in Milford, near Belper in Derbyshire, and I've owned the garden for 25 years. Both sets of grandparents were keen gardeners and had allotments, and my parents were keen gardeners, so yes, it's just run through the family, and I've always been a keen gardener ever since my parents gave me a little plot to grow flowers and vegetables in when I was about 10. So the house itself was built in 1850, and it's so like all the houses, or most of the houses in Milford, it was built by the Struts. They were the local mill owners, but by the 1960s it had become a ruin, and it was done out then, and then over the years the people they bought more and more of it, of garden. So it started off, there was only a little bit just at the side of the house and behind, and then they moved and bought all of this eventually. When I inherited it, it was just like a field. There was basically nothing. Almost everything that you can see, I've put in. I mean, there are things in here that have been inherited from parents and other relatives. The rhubarb, for example, was my great-granddad's. He was a gypsy and he lived in Alford in Lincolnshire, so it's his. And then other things like I guess because of my parents' influence, I tend to like a lot of the plants they did. So aconites, for example, there's loads of aconites here, and they were my mum's favourite, but I love them too. So yeah, there's quite a few things. Like I've got some heleniums from a great uncle, and I've also got lavender from my great granddad as well. So there's lots of things that have been passed on. Yes, certainly when I was working, it was incredible therapy to work here, a de-stressor and so on. But I just love being outside. Now I love the reward for relatively little effort. Where you plant a bulb or something and then it comes up and you see it grow, or plants or vegetables in particular. I love growing those. Yeah, it's incredibly rewarding, I think, for little effort. Keeps you outside in the fresh air. I love it. Once I've retired, then I've probably tidied up more corners than used to be done before, and added more plants. Every year I add loads of winter flowering plants like cyclamen, snowdrops, aconites, so more and more and more of those. So there's more and more colour at this time of the year. And also at the other end, at the autumn end, I've planted lots of heleniums and salvias and so on that are going to extend the flowering season. And so I've concentrated my efforts on trying to extend the flowering season, I guess. Yeah, this is just going over now, but it's a viburnum modern tease. It flowers from about November until now. Beautiful scent. And then this is just coming out. I noticed it yesterday. It's a beautiful pink camellia there. And again, you don't see that unless you sort of look. I'm really chuffed with that. In another week's time, that'll be fully out and really pretty. Now, Daphne's a touch and go in this far north. This is called Missourian. It's the wild variety, and it thrives here. It's been here about 5 years, and it's done really well. So if you live up this far north, then go for a Missourian. They do survive.
Beautiful.
And then you can see here the camellia. Well, that's not exactly hidden.
Oh, yeah. Did spot that on the way.
Yeah. So that one flowers from about January time, so it should be out now, and it's really done well this year. It's incredible. I've never seen so many flowers on it. It really has done well. Just beyond that is a pink one, and then if I take you down here, there's a beautiful. It's called Turkey Red. This variety. It's early this year, but it's nice that you can see it out. It's got the most beautiful colour and lovely shaped flowers. So yeah, that's Camellia Turkey Red, and I've noticed, because I've got acid soil, all these camellias do really well in my garden. Yeah, it is really nice. You can see it's so lovely in the garden, and you can see there's another white camellia just in the back there. So this one and the two ones up there I planted when I first arrived. In fact, they were presents from my parents. And then finally, this little bed at the front, that was like a lockdown bed. So again, lots of winter flowering things. They're going to do well this time of year. So you can see there's lots of primroses, and there's the cyclamen, and there's the aconites, hellebores and so on. And this is a ornamental hawthorn, so it comes out May time. But yeah, this has done really well actually. I must admit, I like sharing it with people as well, and it's nice to think that they can enjoy it too. And you know, if they bring children, they run around, that's even better, you know, because there's plenty of space.